Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg as your council recap with your city administrator, Chad Brecklin. Chad, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
It's a meeting, and we got a lot to get to. We'll start, though, at the top. Had a couple of proclamations to kick off this Common Council.
We did, and it might be helpful for me to make sure that I have those proclamations correct here.
If I just scrolled up for you and showed you on our note page. I have a
pretty good idea of my recollection what they were, but I want to make sure that I've got them. I believe the first one was recognition of October as Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and the second one was recognizing October as Pedestrian Safety Month and October 15th specifically as White Cane Safety Day.
Yeah, so you can check out those proclamations. We have them out there for you, and the lights have been turned to pink outside here at City Hall, so you can check that out as well, bringing awareness there to cancer. We move on to also the public hearing on the mayor's proposed 2026 operating budget happened.
Sure, and if you don't mind, I'll just also mention there were 2 appointments made.
Thank you. I skipped that.
So that's
We're just
no
going to keep skipping around here.
There was an appointment made to the library board and the Resource Conservation Committee, if I recall correctly. So I just want to make sure folks are aware of those council appointments to those respective commissions or committees. And then, yes, we did have our first public hearing related to the 2026 city operating budget. So that is largely salaries of the people, benefits for our people, and then the operating costs of the day-to-day to provide the city services that we are able to provide to our community. So no one spoke during that public hearing, and there will be an additional opportunity to speak, a couple of them actually. I think the official next public hearing will be November 11th at the Common Council meeting, in which action is anticipated on the budget. Although folks can also come and speak at the October 29th Common Council meeting, which will talk about budget amendments. And of course, they can also talk during the non-agenda items at the October 28th Common Council meeting. So a few opportunities if anybody wants to comment.
All right, we move on to our agenda, starting the Board of Public Works, a resolution setting the 2026 solid waste collection rates.
Yes, so every year the Common Council sets its waste collection rates. This is an annual rate that is collected on property tax bills typically. The rate increase from 2025 to 2026 for single-family residential properties is a $4 increase. It'll go from $232 to $236. And then there is an increase in services provided to certain multifamily buildings of an increase of about $7.35. So all in all, despite a notable increase in the overall cost to provide the service from Pelletieri, the overall impact on most property owners is not significant when we're talking about $4 a month per household.
And you're talking refuse pickup, recycling pickup, your brush collections, and your yard waste collections. So
absolutely.
For the homeowner side, and then a tree brush pickup for the apartments,
correct.
Certain apartments,
yes.
As labeled.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries. Accepting subdivision improvements on Phase 4 plot at Highfield Reserve. This one was a postponement, but brought forth.
Yeah, we had a couple of these. We were just simply waiting for conditions to be met by the developers in ensuring that those subdivision improvement agreements were all those obligations were met. And the first one in Highfield Reserve was met. That was accepted or approved by the Common Council. And the second one was in the Oak Meadow Reserve area of the city, and that was also accepted and approved by the Common Council.
We move on to our County Highway MM project, approving a design services agreement for County Highway MM underpass projects.
Yeah, we have a grant that we received in order to put an underpass under Highway MM, kind of just north of the Terravesa neighborhood that would then connect what is potentially a future neighborhood on the Foss side property there on the hill of Highway MM, and then allow for a future connection to the bike path down near West Clayton, McCoy Road, and so forth. This is kind of the first step in beginning the engineering services and design of this underpass. I think it was estimated that the construction would begin in 27 or 28, if I recall correctly. And the funding breakdown is this is about 60% grant funded and 40% city funded.
All right. Well, we'll keep you up to date as that project moves forward. We have approving a second amendment or amendment of engineering services for Fitchburg Road reconstruction project.
Yeah, we needed some additional engineering work done with the forthcoming Fitchburg Road reconstruction project. That is currently planned for next year, 2026. One of the main things driving this is adding some additional sewer infrastructure related to the South Stoner Prairie neighborhood plan that was recently
I would have said it that way too, by the way. It's easy to do, but certainly understand that. And you said that project kicks off next year.
That is still on track to kick off next year. Yep.
Is that from Lacey up into the roundabout?
That is actually from Nesbitt Road to Tonto Trail. So
Perfect.
Just a bit south of Lacey Road.
That's why you asked those questions. All right, moving on to Park Commission, a resolution approving a change order number 2 to the McGaw pickleball courts. This is adding some lighting.
Yeah, so when we had done the four-court pickleball expansion, there was an option to add lights at that time. Ultimately, Common Council elected to put the infrastructure in as part of the first phase of this four-court expansion. And as the project has progressed and there's been further consideration of city finances, specifically using park fee dollars in lieu of parkland dedication, not property tax levy, the Common Council elected to go ahead and have those lights installed, and it's hopeful that those lights will be installed by the end of the calendar year here.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We move on to RCC, that's Resource Conservation Commission, and it's here to join the Wisconsin Local Government Climate Coalition.
Yeah, so our sustainability coordinator, Phil Gruppe, has brought this forward. This is a group of municipal, local, county municipal governments who meet on a regular basis to talk about climate coalition-related initiatives. Ends up being a bit of a resource for us if we participate in there. There is no cost for the city's participation, but the group did require a resolution from a Common Council in order to be accepted as a member of the group. So Common Council passed that, and we'll be a member community of that coalition.
All right, and we have Phil on the show here, so we'll find out more
there you
as
go.
He learns from and picking up some resource tips there.
Absolutely.
From that group. We have our Community Economic Development Authority has a resolution on improving scope of services for our City in Motion strategy plan. So we're kind of going back and revising this plan.
Yeah, I think it's been since 2018 since this plan was originally completed. A number of things have been achieved through this plan, but it's an appropriate time, particularly coming out of the pandemic and some of the changes that have resulted there, to take a look at what our economic development vision is and our forthcoming strategy. So that was approved, and we'll begin to do an update on our strategy and initiatives. It's
pretty crazy from 2018 to where we are now, how many things have been added. You know, I think of Fish Hatchery Road as kind of the big one as part of that strategy. So it's in motion, like it is what it says. Yeah, so excited to see what comes next in there. Yep. We move on to Healthy Neighborhoods Committee, and we have approving the strategic plan. However, this is postponed indefinitely.
Yeah, this was postponed indefinitely. There certainly is an intent and a desire to get this completed. In staff conversation with Mayor Arata Frada, we're in the process of developing a forthcoming plan that likely will begin implementation in the first quarter of 2026 to take the existing plan, look at it, determine, since there's been a period of time since it was originally drafted, what components should be kept, if you will, and considered for implementation, and are there any components that maybe we should look to have removed from the draft at this point in time, and then bring staff and Common Council members together for some planning and conversation related to that document. So hopefully more to come in quarter number 1 of next year, and at some point in the future when that plan is ready for adoption, it'll work its way back through the appropriate committees, commissions, and Common Council.
All right, so we move on to a resolution for approving agreement between the City of Fitchburg and Zebra Dog, you may recognize that name, and design installation of our community and historical exhibit here at City Hall.
Yeah, so we're planning to put in a community and historical exhibit, as the title would indicate, right across from our city clerk's office area or reception area, where anybody coming into the main level of City Hall on the second floor or ground floor, depending on which way you enter the building, you'll be able to see what this display looks like. So this is something we'd like to have done right. Somebody who's familiar with the process and how to bring one of these to life. And that's not something that the city has expertise in doing. So we have worked with this company before on logo and other design-related matters. They are owned by a Fitchburg resident. So there's some really good synergy there and connectivity, and I think it'll be a good partnership, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the end product is.
It's not easy because there's so much history, and history continues to evolve. So,
Right.
You put somebody in place, but then keep it going. It's going to be fun to see what comes out of that. So,
Yeah, for sure.
More to come on that. We move on to a resolution approving a purchase of a police vehicle. Let me say that 10 times over. Anyway.
Yeah, so you may recall the police department had some restructuring approved. As a result of that restructuring, some additional vehicles were requested for purchase. This is being the third vehicle and final vehicle in the request to help accommodate all of their restructuring activities, and that ultimately was approved.
All right. So, well, appreciate the time. You can catch the next meetings coming up here down the road, including Committee of the Whole, and then our next Common Council meeting as well. Chad, always a pleasure having you on.
Thank you.